This is not real. This is not real. This is not real. This isn't happening. Kate, tell me this isn't really happening.
Hey, Nadia, nice to meet you.
And nice to meet you too, Dr. Amy. It's really awesome to meet you, Doctor. You're an astronomer, but can you first, please, in layman's terms, help us understand what it is exactly what you do?
I'm an astronomer and a planetary scientist. I work on a couple different topics, but one of them is to search for asteroids and comets that get kind of close to the Earth. I do this using a space-based telescope that orbits the Earth, and it looks out, looking for anything that might be coming in.
That's very cool. And first of all, also, congratulations on your involvement in such an epic film. I absolutely loved it. How did you get involved with the film?
Well, I've been working on the asteroid topic for now about 15 years or so. And so, it's something that I've been studying for quite a while. But a couple of years ago, a colleague of mine at NASA reached out and said, hey, Adam McKay is looking for someone to talk to about asteroids. So he put us in touch. And the rest is kind of history. When I first talked to Adam, I'm a huge fan of his movies to begin with, but it was really great to hear that he finally wanted to make a movie that really tackles the problem of science denialism.
This comet is what we call a planet killer.
At this exact moment, I say we sit tight and assess.
Sit tight and assess?
Sit tight.
And then assess. The sit tight part comes first, then you got to digest it. That's the assessment period.
And how much involvement did you have? How did you incorporate the science into the film?
Science is threaded throughout the movie. And like I said, I've been working on this with him for a couple of years now. So we've had a long time to really just develop the script, talk about some of the important themes and ideas, to making sure that the VFX and the graphics even get it right. It was a really iterative process through all the different aspects of developing the movie. It was a really great experience for me because, obviously this is a science fiction movie, right? So we veer into the realm of science fiction very quickly as the film starts, but it was a way to try to anchor it in scientific reality a little bit. So the process of discovering the comet, for example, that's fairly realistically depicted. Of course, things quickly take a turn towards the sideways after that. But the other thing that was important for me to show in this movie is the process of science, the peer review process, the fact that science tries to correct its own mistakes, that we try to learn new information and incorporate that. And also the culture of science, that scientists are human beings. We study these things, we study the universe and we study the world around us because we love nature. And we try to, get the public to make the best possible decisions that we can with the information we provide. We do our best.
This is the worst news in the history of humanity. He just blew us off.
What are we going to do? We have to release the information.
So we just leak it.
Our guests today have made a pretty big discovery in space.
How big is this thing, though? And can it destroy my ex-wife's house? Is that possible?
There's a 100% chance that we're all going to die.
And you worked closely with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence in particular on this film. What was that like for you? Were you starstruck at all?
Well, first of all, they're just, both of them are really bright and have a lot of passionate interest in science themselves. So they were really easy to talk to about it. And I especially appreciate that they were willing to go toe to toe with this really complicated, jargony dialogue in a lot of places. I thought they did a great job. And I also thought that they were very committed to showing the humanity in the scientists, because so often in film and TV, you see scientists kind of portrayed as either sort of comedians or they're sort of evil, right? And there's these caricatures of science in a lot of times. And I think they brought a lot of humanity to those roles. Rob Morgan as well. I thought he did a fantastic job of just, really anchoring the character in a real person who is just another person, right? Doing a job. So hopefully, I think they did a great job to humanize the people behind the science.
We're gonna get the news out there, one way or another.
It's real and it's coming.
FBI!
Jesus Christ, you could have just called me.
This comet contains $30 trillion worth of material.
What do trillions of dollars matter if we're all gonna die?
Oh, no, what if we're rich?
That would be terrible!
How were you able to marry the astronomy and environmentalism in that speech?
So we had a lot of discussions about this. We went over and over and over this particular section of the movie because I told Leo, you really have to speak for the science community here. we're all so frustrated sometimes at seeing our messages just get ignored or subverted by special interests or by conspiracy theorists. I told him, you have to speak for us. And you have to give the scream of frustration that we all feel, that I feel, that, going on TV and screaming isn't going to help, right? So you have to do it for us. Sometimes the best way to say this is through art, because it is impactful. It does help people feel the feelings that we feel.
I love that. Well said. Perfect. Doctor, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and amazing job. It was a really awesome movie.
Thank you so much. It was really great to talk to you.
It's way towards Earth. Can you see it?
I can't. My head is in a bag.
I did have the FBI put that bag over your head. They don't do that. The CIA does, but I made them do it.
I had a feeling.
It's a good feeling, because that is what I did, and it was very funny and cool.